Okay, so hi everybody. Today I've been putting this off. I think it's January 3rd, and I bought all the ingredients to make a Yule cake, Yule log for Christmas. But I was really afraid to make it. I've never made a Yule log before. I very rarely make cakes, but I've decided to go ahead and just go for it. I'm going to make a Yule log. I got the recipe off of billyparisi.com. And let's go down and let me tell you, these are the ingredients that you'll need for the cake. 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder plus 1/4 cup, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 6 large eggs, 1 cup of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And for the filling and the toppings, you're going to need 1.5 cups of cold, heavy whipping cream, 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1 tablespoon of Bailey's. I've been enjoying this in my hot coffee every morning, so hopefully I have enough in there. 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, and 8 ounces of mascarpone cheese. And if you have any nuts, you can add nuts. Those are optional. I do not have any left. And you'll need your chocolate for the ganache. The recipe calls for like the toppings, the little mushrooms, like so your meringue, I guess, egg meringue to make the mushrooms, and the sugared cranberries and rosemary. I'm not going to do that. I don't have all the ingredients it takes to make the meringue. I don't have the cream of tartar, and I'm not going to sugar any cranberries and rosemary to make it look pretty, because I would just put that off on the side and not eat it anyways. So I'm going to get all the ingredients put together, and then we'll start making this cake. I'm a little nervous, but let's do it. Alright, so I'm going to start out. I don't have a sifter, so I'm just going to use, you know, this. I'm sure whatever you have at home is fine. I'm going to measure out 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and the recipe says to be sure that it's all-purpose flour, not a cake flour or anything like that. I'm going to go with 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Then we have 1 teaspoon of baking powder. You guys play nice in there. And let's get all of this kind of sifted in. And whisk all that together. Okay, here comes the fun part. We're gonna add 6 eggs. I'm gonna add them one at a time, just to be sure that none of them have any issues. So I'm really nervous about making this. I don't know if it'll turn out. I hope it does. If not, I know I'm going to have fun making it. And it'll probably still be edible. So that's that. I got some shells in this one. Alright. Let's get in 1 cup of sugar. and a half a teaspoon of salt. Two teaspoons of vanilla. Half a cup of vegetable oil. Get this. I'm sure you can do this in a stand mixer, but this just kind of makes it easy. I think that is nice and smooth. I probably whisked it for, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. So now you just pour it into your cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. I left my edges on in case it rises up. He said not to go off of the parchment paper, so I have never made a cake in a cookie sheet pan before. My first time to do this, but hopefully I've got some more first timers out there doing this with me. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm experimenting, and that's what makes it fun. And nobody's laughed at me yet. We've gotten some thumbs up and likes on some of the videos, a few comments. Alright. I'm getting every drop out of this. It smells good. My mother's going to faint when I call her and tell her I'm making a homemade Yule log. Alright. Spread to the edges of the pan. And we're going to put it in at 350 for about 14 to 16 minutes. Get the little air bubbles out. Alright. Let's hope this works. .350, 14 to 16 minutes. So I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. And fingers crossed, we'll come back and see if it's done, and then we're going to do something fun. Roll it over the cocoa powder. Alright, so the cake is about to go off in the oven. And here's where that 1/4 cup of cocoa at the beginning of the recipe comes in. I did look at my cake, and it's weird looking. I don't know what I did, but it's not, it doesn't appear to be level, but that's okay. I got the thinnest kitchen towel I could find. He appears to have used a very thin one in his recipe, and he says to sprinkle the cocoa all over this towel. My timer just went off for the cake. Let's hope I got that on there good enough. And the cake, it's going to look weird. I've already looked at it, but it is what it is. I did put a toothpick in, and it came out clean. Ooh, it's hot. It's higher on one end than on the other. So, I lost my toothpick. I'll put a knife. Alright, while it's still hot, he says grab it and flip it right onto the cocoa powder. As gently as I can. I hope I can do this. And immediately peel off. Well, I got it all on the cocoa powder. And while it's still hot, you are supposed to take the kitchen towel and roll it as gently as you can. I saw a string from the towel. Last thing I need is a piece of string in my cake. Oh my goodness, I did it without breaking it. And now it has to cool for 2 to 2.5 hours. Just like that. So I'm going to set my timer for 2 hours. We'll get the filling started and the ganache started because it has to go into the refrigerator cool. So whew, hope you can't see the sweat glistening off of me because I'm nervous that I'm actually trying this out. Ah! It should taste good regardless of what it looks like, right, Dwight?
I would think so. It's got sugar and chocolate in it.
We'll still eat it. But anyway, this is kind of cool. I'm nervous, that's why I keep talking so much. So here in just a minute I'm going to go ahead and start the filling for the cake and the ganache so that by the time this cake is cooled, everything else will be ready for it. Alright. Alright, so we're back to make the filling. The cake is in a rolled position with the cocoa in a towel. It's got to sit there for 2 to 2.5 hours. I've got a timer set. So in the meantime, we're going to make the filling that looks really, really yummy and goes inside. You'll be using a mixer for this one. I guess I should have looked. I didn't have that open yet. So this is going to start with 1.5 cups of heavy cream. I might as well get it all in there. And 1 cup of powdered sugar. Tablespoon of cocoa powder. Be sure you start this out on low so the flour doesn't go everywhere. I'm going to lock it in place and start it on low.
She means the powdered sugar, not flour.
Did I say flour?
Yeah.
I thought I said powdered sugar. Sorry, guys. So once this gets going, we're going to add 8 ounces of mascarpone cheese. This will help stabilize it and thicken it. I've never had this before. I'm going to taste it. Nice and creamy. And the secret ingredient, probably my favorite, is a tablespoon of the Bailey's. Now it smells delicious. And we're gonna let this continue to whip and beat until it gets to a very stiff peaks. We'll be back. Alright. I'm pretty sure this is to the stiff peaks. Let's check it. Oh yes. That looks definitely perfect. Oh, you guys, it smells wonderful. I'm gonna be the little kid who wants to lick that beater. Okay. So I'm gonna take this bowl off and we're going to oh darn, I got some on my finger. What a shame. Boy, I'm gonna save that. That's delicious. Now I can see why he says try not to eat it. Oh, you guys, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now we're gonna refrigerate this for the same amount of time that cake has left to sit on the counter. I'm going to put some plastic wrap over it and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and then we're going to start making the ganache. Dwight, you should come taste this.
I did. What are you doing?
Look at that dang beater. Are you still filming?
Oh, yes.
Hi everybody, it's great. Really good.
Yeah, I tasted it. I can verify. It's good.
Alright, so now I've got the filling for the cake in the refrigerator. The cake is still cooling here. I have about an hour and a half left to go, which is perfect timing now to start the ganache, because it has to sit for an hour and a half. So I've got 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. I got premium because that's what he said. Make sure it is high quality chocolate. And just gonna start chopping this up. And I've got some water going in the background here. We're getting that to a simmer. You don't want it to boil. And I'm going to put this chocolate into a double boiler. And we're going to constantly stir it until it is fully melted. And then it's going to sit in that bowl with a towel over it for 90 minutes. I've never done anything like this before, so this is an experiment for me. I'm gonna call my mother when I'm done. she'll probably faint. My mother was quite the chef. My brother was a very good chef. And I left home at the age of 18. All I knew how to cook was tuna casserole or tater tot casserole. But at almost 60, I want to learn how to do this a little bit better. Whoops, I guess I could have cut that a little bit better. Okay, so this is at a simmer. It's not boiling. I'll just put this bowl over it. It's going to take a little while to get it all melting. 1 cup of heavy cream. And since this is quite a process, it's going to take some time. We'll come back once it's all melted and stirred. In my little video, I said, I said my mom was a great chef, my brother was a great chef. I watched my mom cook all the time, but I left the house at 18 only knowing how to make tuna casserole and tater tot casserole. So anyway, better late than never. I wanted to call and tell you what I was doing. I'm so excited. I'm ready to start crying because I can't believe I'm actually doing this.
Don't cry. Just, I know that it's wonderful that you're experiencing some of those things. I think it's wonderful.
Well, my ganache is done. I'm going to get off the phone and I'll send you pictures of this when it's all put together.
Okay, sweetheart.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. I know your cookies were beautiful.
Thank you, Mom. Love you.
You're welcome.
Angels on your pillow. I wish you enough.
Okay. I love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
So, I think Dwight may have been filming. I'm not 100% sure, but I did just get off the phone with my mother. And look at that ganache, you guys. Is that beautiful? Woo! I didn't burn it. I've got the heat turned off. So, what I'm supposed to do now is to let it sit and cool. So I'm going to bring it over here. Let me get this emptied out. Okay, he said to give it one last good stir. Oh, wow, you guys. I'm so proud of myself. I've never made ganache before. Oh my goodness. And he said cover it with a towel. So I have the cake in a roll. It's got about an hour and 15 minutes left. I have the cream filling in the refrigerator, and the ganache will sit out for 60 to 90 minutes. So when the cake is cooled, we're going to put the filling in, and then we'll cover it with the ganache. Almost there. So excited. Hello. Okay, it's been about 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I just took the filling out of the refrigerator, giving it a stir. And hopefully I've got enough room here. The cake has been sitting for 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I'm going to very gently unroll it. I've just washed my hands. Now he said if it has cracks in it, not to worry, because the frosting will, the ganache, you know, will cover all of that up. It is definitely cooled. And now we're going to put the frosting on. I was wondering if it was going to come unrolled, and it's having a little bit of hard time coming unrolled. So we're going to take that filling and roll it all the way to the edges. Looks like there's going to be just enough. If there just happens to be any in the bowl, you know, by accident, I may have to taste some more of this frosting. I feel like it's going to spread all out when I try to roll it.
Yeah, I don't think you were supposed to roll it tight because it will squeeze out.
Maybe I put too much icing on. But you know, this is my first time to do this, and any mistakes that I make this time, I'll fix. I'll fix next time. Because I think I'll try it again.
And there's no such thing as a bad edible mistake.
It may not look as pretty as what it could, but I'm sure it'll taste good. Okay. Now, gentle, gentle, gentle. We're going to start rolling. Gentle hands, gentle hands. I'm getting ready for any excess that might want to spill off. Okay, and then transfer it. I've got a sheet of plastic. Oops. Well, okay, don't use all the cream filling. Now, you're going to tightly roll it up as tightly as you can. I'm just going to go ahead and spread out the icing. Try to get it back in there. There we go. But that's okay, because I can put that side down, you know. This side I'll put down on the platter when it's ready to be served. Now, this goes into a refrigerator for another 30 to 40 minutes because you want it to get really, really chilled and set. So, my hands are kind of... So, let's keep that in there for about 40 minutes. My ganache is still doing great. Here, under a towel. And about 30 to 40 minutes we'll come back and we're going to frost the Yule log. Okay, here's the moment of truth. I'm going to frost this cake and let's hope that it's been in the refrigerator long enough to hold its shape. Drum roll, please. Okay, it's been in the refrigerator for 40 minutes. Make sure you give yourself a long afternoon to do this cake. Alright, we're going to unroll it. And then, I don't have a platter or anything, so I just put some aluminum foil over a cookie sheet. Alright. I guess it doesn't matter if the side with all the frosting coming out goes on the bottom or on the top, because we are going to frost it. So far I'm very pleased with it. Now, what he said to do in the directions is to cut a piece off at an angle . And the ganache has been sitting out for about, I'd say at least 2 hours. His was a lot thicker, so I don't know why mine's not as thick, but it should still spread. I was worried about that. And he said to take a little bit of the ganache, spread it over the end like this, and attach it to the side of the cake. I don't know why.
Makes it look more like a log.
Oh, got it. And then just I don't have an offset spatula, and so I'm going to use my little rubber spatula here to frost over this cocoa covered log the best I can. I'm really surprised that mine did not have any cracks or tears in it. I do know he said to place it on the counter, but his BillyParisi.com, his ganache did seem a lot thicker. Maybe I put too much cream in it, I don't know. But it seems to be spreading really well. I hate to say that I did not do any garnishings like the sugared cranberries and the sugared rosemary to make it look more like a tree, the meringue mushrooms. I knew that I would set it all off to the side. It would be just for show, and so I didn't want to waste my money or my time doing it, since it is just for me and Dwight. I don't think am I supposed to cover that?
Yep.
Well, I've got enough frosting. I think I leave one piece uncovered to show the center of the log, right?
I don't know.
You guys, I don't know if I'm doing this right or not, but it looks delicious, it smells delicious, I'm sure it will taste delicious. So I guess I leave that opened and this opened. I think I should put this in the refrigerator to let it get a little harder, but let's see if it works.
Explain, please.
I'm dragging a knife through
A fork?
A fork through the frosting, trying not to go all the way down to tear into the cake, but to try to give it the effect of a log.
Bark.
Bark.
There you go.
So
It works.
I think for my very first time ever trying to make a Yule log that I did a great job. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and let the frosting set, and then I think that even though it's about 7:30 late at night, Dwight and I might split up one piece of this tonight because it looks delicious and I want to know what it tastes like. But I'm very pleased with what it looks like. I can only imagine how much prettier it would have looked with the little mushroom caps made of the meringue and the sugared cranberries. But I may try this again for another holiday. So I'm glad I tried it. I hope you'll try it. We're going to come back in a little bit and each give it a taste and let you know how it turned out. Alright, so this is going to sound weird because I wanted to make this, but I'm not a big chocolate cake fan. Don't care for chocolate cake, but I really want to try that filling in the cake. So we're going to just take a small piece of this. I'm very excited to try this. Let me get a scared to mess it up. Alright, here we go. But Dwight likes chocolate cake, so I should let him taste it first.
Well, I can't. I'm working the camera.
I guess I should try the frosting. Actually, that is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Very good.
I have to give that 2 thumbs up. Even if you're not a fan of chocolate, what really comes through the most, that's our clock going off. I'll see if Dwight agrees with me. The first thing I taste is the cocoa. The second thing I taste is the Baileys. And it's so fluffy and soft, and I think it's delicious. What did you think?
I thought it was very good.
Do you agree on me with the cocoa and the Baileys?
Let me try another bite. I can't decide. Let's see. Whoop.
very addictive. I keep wanting to go back for more.
I can't really taste the cocoa so much. I do taste chocolate. Let me try.
I taste the cocoa because the cake itself, going on the towel, covered in cocoa, and you rolled it, the whole cake is covered in cocoa. That's a great cake.
Very good.
Even if you don't turn it into a log, you can make it into a layer cake, but
Yeah.
again,
You don't even have to make it. Yeah, for sure you don't have to make it into a log. It still
I
tastes
had to
great.
try it. I had to try it. I'm going to tell
Yeah,
my mother,
yeah.
so we're going to take a few pictures. I'm going to call my mom.
All right.
I'm very excited, but this
It is very
delicious.
good.
Give it a try.